Hey guys, thank you for coming back to another episode of Skyrim's Strongest Stories. I'm 677 and today we shall be reading the book Night Falls on Sentinel. And this book can be found at Fort Greymoor. You can actually see this fort from where at the Western Watchtower when you fight your first dragon. Just look directly over here. You'll see it. And so, when you pick up this book right next to the boss's chest on a pedestal, you will get a +1 skill for light armor to level it up. So, enough talking about it. Let's start reading it. Night Falls on Sentinel by Bailey. Look at that dragon. No music played in the nameless tavern in Sentinel, and indeed there was very little sound except for discreet, cautious murmurs of conversation. The soft pad of the barmaid's feet on stone, and the delicate slurping of the regular patrons, tongues lapping at the flagons, eyes focused on nothing at all. If anyone were less otherwise occupied, the sight of the young Redguard woman in a fine black velvet cape might have aroused surprise, even suspicion. As it were, the strange figure out of place in the underground cellar, so modest it had no sign, blended into the shadows. "Are you Jomek?" The stout middle-aged man with a face older than his years looked up and nodded. He returned to his drink. The young woman took the seat next to him. My name is Habala," she said, and pulled out a small bag of gold, placing it next to his mug. "Sure it be," snarled Jomek, and met her eyes again. "Who do you want dead?" She did not turn away, but merely asked, "Is it safe to talk here?" "No one cares about nobody else's problems but their own here. You could take off your cuirass and dance bare-breasted on the table and no one even spit," the man smiled. "So who do you want dead?" "No one, actually," said Habala. "The truth is I only wanted someone removed for a while. Not harmed, you understand, and that's why I need a professional. You come highly recommended." "Who you been talking to?" asked Jomek dully, returning to his drink. "A friend of a friend of a friend of a friend." "One of them friends don't know what he's talking about," grumbled the man. "I don't do that anymore." Habella quietly took out another purse of gold and then another, placing them at the man's elbow. He looked at her for a moment and then poured the gold out and began counting. As he did, he asked, "Who do you want removed?" "Just a moment," she smiled, Habella shaking her head. "Before we talk details, I want to know that you're professional and you won't harm this person very much, and that you'll be discreet." "You want discreet?" The man paused in his counting. "Alright, I'll tell you it's about an old job of mine. It's been, by arcade, I can hardly believe it, more than 20 years, and no one's but me's alive who had done anything to do with the job. This is back before the time of the War of Bethany. Remember that?" "I was just a baby." "Of course you was." Jomek smiled. "Everyone knows that King Lorton had an older brother, Greklith, that died, right? And then he's got his older sister, Abkai, what married in that king fella in Daggerfall. But the truth's that he had 2 elder brothers." "Really?" Abath's eyes glistened with interest. I think I'll just stop trying to do a voice, because not only do I think that it's not that great, it's just really annoying to me. "No lie," he chuckled. "Weedy, feeble fella called Othago, the king and queen's firstborn. Anyhow, this prince was heir to the throne, which his parents wasn't too thrilled about, but when the queen, she squeezed out 2 more princes who looked a lot more fit. That's when me and my boys got hired on to make it look like the first prince got took off by the undertaking, or some such story." "I had no idea," the young woman whispered. "Of course you didn't. That's the point." Jomek shook his head. "Discretion, like you said. We bagged the boy, dropped him deep in an old ruin, and that was that. No fuss. Just a couple of fellas, a bag and a club." "That's what I'm interested in," said Habella. "Technique. My friend, who needs to be taken away, is weak also, like this prince. What is the club for?" "It's a tool. So many things that was better in the past ain't around no more. Just 'cause the people today prefer ease of use what works right. Let me explain. There are 71 prime pain centers in the average fella's body. Elvis and Khajiit, being so sensitive and all, got 3 and 4 more respectively. Argonians and Slodes, how's it slowed? Almost as many as 52 and 67. Jomek used his short stubby finger to point out each region on Habella's body. 6 in your forehead, 2 in your brow, 2 on your nose, 7 in your throat, 10 in your chest, 9 in your abdomen, 3 on each arm, 12 in your groin, 4 in your favorite leg, 5 in the other. That's 63, replied Habella. No, it's not, growled Jormik. Yes, it is, the young lady cried back, indignant that her mathematical skills were being questioned. 6 plus 2 plus 2 plus 7 plus 10 plus 9 plus 3 for one arm and 3 for the other. Plus 12 plus 5, 63. I must have left some out, shrugged Jormik. The important thing is that to become skilled to the staff or club, you gotta be a master of those pain centers. Done right, a light tap could kill or knock out without so much as a bruise. Fascinating, smiled Habilla. And no one ever found out? Why would they? The boy's parents, the king and queen, they're both dead now. The other children always thought their brother got carried off by the underking. That's what everyone thinks, and all my partners are dead. Of natural causes? Ain't nothing natural that ever happens in the bay, you know that. One fella got sucked up by one of them Selenu. Another died of that same plague that took the queen and prince Greclith. Another fella got himself beat up to death by a burglar. Gotta keep low, out of sight, like me, if you want to stay alive. Jormik finished counting the coins. You must want this fella out of the way bad. Who is it? It's better if I show you, said Habella. Standing up, without a look back, she strode out of the nameless tavern. Jormik drained his beer and went out. The night was cool, with an unrestrained wind surging out the water of the Lilac Bay, sending leaves flying like whirling shards. Habella stepped out of the alleyway next to the tavern and gestured to him. As he approached her, the breeze blew open her cape, revealing the armor beneath and the crest of the ring of Sentinel. The fat man stepped back to flee, but she was too fast. In a blur, he found himself in the alley on his back, the woman's knee pressed firmly against his throat. The king has spent years since he took the throne looking for you and your collaborators, Jormik. His instructions to me what to do when I found you were not specific, but you've given me an idea. From her belt, Habella removed a small, sturdy cudgel. A drunk stumbling out of the bar heard a whimpered moan accompanied by a soft whisper coming from the darkness of the alley. Let's keep better count this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that was a fucking awesome ending to that book. Oh, yes, I greatly enjoyed that. I did not expect that ending. Oh, I love reading these types of books. Now, some are instruction manuals, some are great stories like that, and they're all going to be compiled together in the same series, but, you know, every once in a while you'll find a good one such as that. A really good one. And I hope you'll join me for another Skyrim Strongest Stories, and I'll see you next time.